Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tech Gamers World. Now, as an avid video gamer and technology enthusiast, I finally decided to take the plunge and break out into the world of podcasting. Now, I am super nervous about that, but at the same time, also really excited because I think it could be totally awesome. But I do not have a microphone that is suitable for use with creating a quality podcast that somebody's actually going to want to listen to. But as luck would have it, Maono reached out to me and asked if I was interested in checking out their PD200W wireless dynamic microphone. So absolutely, I said yes. Now I'm super excited to check this thing out. Is it any good? Well, stay tuned and let's find out. Okay, everyone, welcome back. So a huge thank you to Maono for sending me their PD200W hybrid wireless dynamic microphone. I really appreciate it. I am super excited to check this out. And as always, while they did send this to me, all opinions expressed in this video are my own, and I'm going to tell you exactly as I see it. So with that said, if you could click that like button, follow, subscribe to me here at Tech Gamers World, that would be totally awesome. I always appreciate it. I love meeting new people. I love seeing new things and getting and working with new technology. And I'm always dropping new content and live streaming all the time. And soon, podcasts are going to be introduced to my channel. So that's going to be totally awesome. So let's get to the unboxing here, shall we? So as I said, this is the Maono PD200W hybrid wireless dynamic microphone, and it looks pretty awesome just from looking at it. So taking a look at the box here, flipping it over to the back here, we've got some information about the wireless microphone featuring dynamic capsule, 50-meter wireless range, mic gain and headphone volume control, programmable RGB lights, that's going to be awesome. Compatible with cameras, smartphones, and computers, that's also awesome because I'm going to be recording content on a variety of things. Shock mounts included, desktop stand included, easy to set up, cardioid polar pattern, one-touch mute, switchable real-time monitoring, Maono Link software support, built-in wind foam, and all-metal body. So pretty awesome here. We see some of the stuff that's included here for the wireless transmissions here. So USB-C, iOS, which is a lightning adapter, and a just a RX1. So that's pretty cool. This is the 3.5 millimeter one. So that's pretty cool because the majority of phones these days are either USB-C, which is most if not all Android phones, and the newer Apple uh, phones. And then, of course, there is what's now called the legacy Lightning adapter. So that will work for phones and iPads, tablets that have the Apple proprietary Lightning adapter, which again, with the newer line of Apple mobile phones and tablets has been essentially replaced with USB-C to standardize. But it's great that they include both of those. Checking out the other side here, just some more information. The company's name, meaning Vision, there, that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead here and open this up, shall we? We're going to pop this open here. So here we've got some more descriptive information here about how to connect the device. It features different ways to connect, which is why they call it a hybrid microphone. So for computer use, there is the wireless mode, which is using the transmitter there. There's wired mode, which is using USB straight to the computer, and then a direct 3.5 millimeter connection to headphones so that you can hear yourself. And then, of course, there is the mobile phone use, so the wireless mode again, that is with the dongles that they include, so either USB-C or Lightning. And there is then wired mode, a direct connection to the phone, so USB-C to the USB-C USB cable, or you could use a USB-C to USB-C with a lightning adapter if you needed it here. And this device also does feature XLR communications, which in connections, which is really cool if you're using it with a tuner, any of those kind of high-end audio equipment. So basically showing you here how the microphone can be set up. So you got your connections here, your stands. You can mount it to a boom. I'm just going to use the stand for purposes of this testing. And again, more ways to connect it. So you can even connect it to a camera, which is cool. That's awesome. And they've got the wireless mic here too, which is cool. So they're showing you that. Here is the user manual. We'll put this off to the side here. The user manual, packing list, what comes included in it, depending on which model that you have here. Desktop stand set, product overview, the different transmitters, so the RX USB-C, RX Lightning adapter, they have Lightning spelled wrong, RX 3.5 millimeter, so that's with the microphone for the headphones and stuff like that. So the power button here, the audio output port, the Lightning port, the USB-C port, all cool. Back clip can be fixed to camera's hot shoe port. So that's awesome. You can mount that to a camera. Different ways to set it up with various booms, the desktop stand, different polar patterns, the frequency responses, specifications. All of that good stuff is in here. Always recommend keeping the user manual if you're not familiar with the product or how to initially set it up. So here we go. Let's see what we got here. So we'll start with the box. Here is the USB-C receiver. Yep. So we'll pull this out here. Nice lightweight receiver here. So you would again plug this into your phone. We'll go ahead and put that off to the side there. Next up here, we have a USB-C cable. This is a USB-A cable. Here, this is the USB-A end to a USB-C connection. So USB-A to USB-C cable. Nice. Put that off to the side. Here we have a USB-A to USB-C adapter. And which looks cool, that's awesome actually, is it becomes a straight USB-C cable. So USB-C female to USB-C male or USB-A. So you can connect this side to your computer or device, Surface, Microsoft Surface, whichever. And then you have the female end here. So you could plug in the cables to there. That's awesome. Let's see what else we have here. We have the actual microphone itself. Comes already mounted inside of the shock mount here. Very lightweight. You can see here on the back the connections, which we'll get more into in a little bit. You have your XLR connections, which is used for higher end studio equipment. USB-C, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. The power button here. Awesome looking. On top here, we have the mute and the headphone / microphone volume control. Looks pretty awesome. Let's put that down to the side here. Take out the phone. And then down underneath here, we have the desktop mount, which I'm going to use. Wow, that's actually really heavy. Here is the kit. This thing is solid metal. It's got to weigh at least 5 to 10 pounds. Surprisingly heavy. That's awesome because that's going to keep your microphone from tipping over. And we've got, of course, the arm here. So we'll go ahead and get all of that built up here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's go ahead now and build the microphone, shall we? It's on the stand. So it looks pretty straightforward. Just going to screw this in like so. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then we want to go ahead here and connect up the microphone. So we're going to go ahead here, screw this on just like so. Very simple to do here. So that gets, of course, nice and tight. Awesome looking. Let's go ahead and readjust the camera here. Get it up a little higher. Awesome looking. Really cool. And again, very nice. I like the fact that the bottom has so much weight to it. I was expecting this to be just nothing but like, cheap plastic with just a little bit of weight down in the bottom of it, but it's solid metal. That is awesome. Taking a look here at the adjusters. So your standard locking, they tighten them. It prevents the microphone from moving. You loosen it, you can lean it back, lean it forward. Pretty cool. Let's see what else we got here. So we can raise it up. That's awesome to make it higher, depending on how high or low the person's sitting. And there is a set point that will only go so high. So let's tighten that up here. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I would say it sits about a good 1.5 feet in the air here, as you can see. Awesome looking. So for purposes of this, let's go ahead and lower this back down. So now, why don't we focus on the cabling and the transmitters? All right, so let's see here what we got. So looking at, again, the USB-C connection here. This is the wireless transmitter. So it does operate on the 2.4 gigahertz frequency, which is awesome. So there are, 3 ways to broadcast these. The wireless way, which is these. These typically use the 2.4 gigahertz wireless spectrum, which gives the ability for, maximum range. And while they're not the fastest wireless signal for devices like these work perfectly fine. There's pretty much zero latency that you would have to worry about there. You can, again, of course, wire the connection here. So, plug and play with anything, PC, phone, tablet, whichever, device you're using. You would, again, just use the appropriate cable with the appropriate connection. So that's, of course, awesome. And then last but not least is XLR. Now, XLR is a more of a very professional setup. I do have an XLR microphone that I used to use for live streaming, so I do have all of those cables. They are awesome. They are very, very high end though, and it does get expensive for the XLR setups. You would typically use them with um, devices like synthesizers, stuff like that, amps, etc. Here is a XLR cable just so you can see what it looks like. And it would go in to the back right there, just like so. So that is how you would make an XLR connection. Again, that's more of a professional setup. I would not be using that for my podcasting because again, I'm just breaking out into podcasting and still an amateur in that regard. But XLR is definitely great if you're a huge audiophile and you have that kind of equipment. You would need a very professional setup with appropriate audio interfaces. Looking at more of the specs here on this microphone here. So 30 millimeter dynamic capsule with cardioid pickup. That's super important because in my house, there's a lot of background noise some days. You know where I'm going with that. So the noise canceling, the cardioid pickup is super important. Always, definitely important for me because I can't tell you how many times I've had to re-record something because it got messed up. Um, these are made for two voices, so dual track recording can ensure that each microphone captures its own track. This is awesome. So if you're recording with two of these, two different people, configured properly, you'll get that breakout for dual track, which is great for when you're editing your audio. Definitely awesome. Studio clarity in any room, that to me is super important here. And just I'll show you what I'm talking about. You look at my gaming room here. We've got, you know, high ceilings, stuff like that, echoes. So if I can get studio quality sound from a microphone, that is, super important for me. Um, the wireless is awesome in this. So wireless means that obviously there is batteries built into this. So it says here, based on the specs, that you can do up to 60 meters of wireless recording. Again, that's based on, the standards of 2.4 gigahertz wireless. 60 hours of battery life built into these. Super awesome. So this does have to be charged with, of course, the RGB lights off. Live volume and gain knob, one tap mute, and RGB color shift. That's cool. So the RGB lighting, you can see it here. We're going to try that out. This thing looks awesome. I think we're at the ready point here and I'm ready to get this connected up and see how it sounds. So let's do it.
Okay, everyone. So I've gone ahead and got the wireless microphone connected up to my PC. Now, I am wearing a pair of headphones here. These are wired headphones, which is plugged in to the back of the microphone. Now, this is being used strictly so that I can hear myself and hear that if I need to make any adjustments to the microphone settings. So let's test this out. So we've got the software installed on my Microsoft Windows 11 computer here. And as you can see, it is acknowledging I am talking. Trying it out here. Sounds good. I have the microphone gain set at 11 to 30 centimeters, so roughly how far away you are from the device is how you want to adjust the microphone gain. And this will always take trial and error. It's different with every kind of microphone. Let's see, if I adjust the microphone gain up here, so bringing it up to 3150, so I'm at it says it's at 16 here. So um, I sound louder and even louder. So that's a little on the loud side. I want it to be, relaxing and calming. So right in the middle of the road seems to be pretty good. I can do the same thing with the adjuster on here, as you can see. So all the way up and all the way down. Now you can't hear me talk. So you couldn't hear me talk there at all, which is exactly what I'm looking for. If you press down, changes the color of the lighting, which probably changes, I don't know if it changes the microphone mode or not. So cool. So there's noise canceling, obviously. Please select the appropriate noise canceling level according to the ambient noise. So for me right now, it's quiet, it's relaxing. So noise cancellation is slight. You can set it to moderate or aggressive. So I can tell the difference because I don't hear the mouse click as loud. If I put it on slight, you can hear the mouse click louder. Um, I can definitely hear the difference. And that is pretty cool. So this is, the application is very basic. very easy to use. This is again using it with a computer. So if you're recording your podcast, you're doing live streaming, which I do when I play video games. Pretty awesome. Scenes here. So there are various scenes. You have original. So if we set original, I sound the same. But obviously you would adjust these wave points here. And that's going to get into the more advanced features of this microphone, which the fact that they have them is awesome. So we have podcast here, game, and sing. So that sounds weird. It's definitely interesting. I'm not a musician, I'm not a singer, so I will probably never use that function. Let's put it this way, if I sang something, I would probably lose subscribers. So back to the ones I would use, gaming, original, and podcast. So we'll leave it on gaming. Checking out lights here. So effect, we have fixed, breathing, so it's listening when it hears noise, it'll uh, adjust the LED light, and loop, where it'll just basically loop through all the colors and go around and around. I'm a fan of fixed, and one of my favorite colors is, of course, neon green. If you need to see, got my watch there, neon green. So adjusting brightness, you can make the LED light brighter, dimmer, off totally, depending on, the environment you're in. Obviously, if you're in a purely professional environment, you may not use the RGB light at all, so you can just turn it off. They have custom colors. You can adjust the wheel to make whatever color you want, which is cool. So if you wanted like a blue or bluish purple, green, I like those greens, and then they'll stay. So if you wanted to again make, let's see, we have blue. So there's blue, green. That's really cool. Again, RGB lighting on or off depending on where you're in, what you're doing. There are certain times you would use RGB lighting, other times you wouldn't. So of course that's nice to have on and off. Overall, this app is pretty cool. I love the fact that you have the integration on the app, and you could do the same things for the noise canceling on the mic itself. So again, off, can't hear me, turn it up. That's pretty cool, pretty cool. Um, you know what? Let's try this out with some what I essentially do for live streaming. Okay, so here we are playing The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, I've gone ahead and configured an application called OBS Studio, which is a well-known video and audio recording application for use with live streaming, whether it's YouTube or any of the big players. I like to use OBS Studio. I'm not going to obviously go into how do you configure OBS Studio in this video, but you can check out my YouTube channel. It's got a whole bunch of other videos showing how to configure OBS Studio. So here we are in the game. We've got the microphone positioned in the same spot. As you can see, it works awesome as an audio overlay for my recordings here. This is simulating what would be a live stream, of course. So we'll just go ahead here and run outside here and hang out in Hyrule Field. It's definitely awesome. The overlay sounds nice, and what's really cool about this is I can adjust obviously the microphone gain. So if it sounds too low, too loud, I can just use this here to make me sound quieter so that I'm not overwhelming the audio of the game here. So let's see, we got a choo-choo here. Got it. So awesome. This thing is so cool. This is going to make a great addition to my recording stuff here. And now that I'm branching out into podcasts, this is going to be really awesome. And I can use this for live streaming as well, as you can see here. So let's go into final thoughts. Okay, so final thoughts here. First off, I want to extend a huge thank you to Maono for sending me their PD200W hybrid wireless microphone. This thing is straight up awesome. I cannot stress that enough. It's very rare I ever come across a product that I don't have anything negative to say about it. I am a very, let's put it this way, I find something wrong with everything. I cannot find anything wrong with this microphone. It is straight up awesome. From the ability to connect the device wirelessly to your mobile phone, which is how I'm recording this right now. You can see it's latency free. The audio sounds awesome. It's got multiple ports on the back here from USB-C to the XLR connection to the 3.5 millimeter port, which is I've got connected to my headphones so I can hear myself talk and adjust the audio on the fly using the Maono Link app on my PC. This microphone does it all. And it even comes in this nice, awesome desktop stand. It supports connecting to booms, mics, all that stuff. This thing is awesome. I especially love the fact that it's got the RGB lighting on the side that's customizable. You can have it go around and ring. You can turn it on and off. You've got the adjusting this audio adjuster on here, so to make yourself louder or quieter depending on the settings, you can adjust that on the fly. You can mute yourself on the fly just like that. Really cool. The one thing I think is really, really nice about this device is that it will work with pretty much all your range of devices, whether you're connecting it to an Apple iPhone, an Android mobile phone, a PC, an iPad, a Samsung tablet, you name it, it'll work. There are a variety of connectors available. Obviously, you want to make sure when you're purchasing the device, you're buying the right kind of connector if you need to connect it to an external device such as a phone or a iPad or a tablet or anything like that. So of course, make sure you read the specs. I honestly, I'm going to be using this all the time. It is just that awesome. So again, a huge thank you to Maono for sending this to me. I really appreciate it. All opinions you saw in this video are of course my own. And if you're interested in checking out the PD200W hybrid wireless dynamic mic from Maono, check out the link in the description for this video and the comment section. It will take you straight to their site where you can purchase one for yourself. And of course, that is an affiliate link. So if by you clicking on that link and purchasing this microphone, you help my channel and help me grow, which means I can make better and better content and meet new and exciting people, which is totally awesome. So thanks a lot, everybody. And as always, I will see you around. If you can click that like button and subscribe to me here at Tech Gamers World, that would be awesome. And as always, like I said, I'll see you around. Keep on gaming.